1 in 4 American adults have a disability, and I'm one of them. I'm Lachi. I'm a recording artist and disability culture advocate, and I'm here to introduce you to Disabled Renegades.
I face each day as a renegade.
Judy Lynn del Rey is one of the unsung heroes of modern fantasy publishing. She was both a genius at marketing and also had a really fine, keen editorial eye.
Somebody brought her this idea of a book based on this movie that was going to come out by George Lucas. She could tell that this was going to be big.
That novelization of Star Wars sold 4.5 million copies in less than 5 months.
Aloha. This is Senator Dan Inouye reporting to you from Washington.
He always defined himself as equal to.
To be able to get elected to office in local government, get elected to office in the U.S. government, rise up in stature in the Senate to the point that he is the president pro tem, which is third in line to the president. Only in America is that possible.
God has given me a rare gift that I'm here to share with you.
One of my earliest memories is just like of the comfort of her mouth on me.
The Department of Public Welfare declared me unfit to be a mother because of my disability, but they failed to realize my mental capacity.
I am the representation of a war that was won. The court system, they never thought that I would be a success because of her, but it's because of her that I am.
Thomas Wiggins was one of the major musical figures of the 19th century. A child prodigy, he wrote his first composition at the age of 5, but he was black, blind, and enslaved. Otherwise, he might be considered like Mozart.
What we want to do is look at him in a larger context, like he was a very important person on a continuum of early American pianists that eventually led to the creation of jazz, rock and roll, and rhythm and blues.
Brad Lomax was dedicated to the work and not the limelight.
We saw the barriers and obstacles people had to deal with, whether it's in the hospital, in an apartment, or just going down the sidewalk.
Black Panthers came every day and fed us every day for the whole sit-in, and that's really, quite frankly, how we survived. We wouldn't have survived without food from them.
What is Brad Lomax's legacy?
He was the beginning of disability justice, intersecting Blackness with disability. He was already there, and all of the people that are working on it now, we're all his children, continuing that work.
Boom, there you go. That was a trailer for Renegades, streaming right now on PBS, as well as the American Masters YouTube channel on the PBS app. Everything, go check it out. It's so important right now because we are celebrating Disability Awareness Month, and I'm so excited, so delighted to have the host, Lachi, who's the narrator and Renegades and disability culture advocate, who is just so amazing. I love her. And of course, Day Al-Mohamed, who is the series creator and senior producer for Renegades. Thank you both so much for your time. Really appreciate you guys. I am all about representation. As, like I said, a proud Filipino American, a person of color, representation means so much to me. And seeing that within this, both behind the camera and in front of the camera for this project, is lovely. I got to tell you guys, so great to see. And of course, our disabled community, who I have family and friends that are disabled. And so to see this and have this and gain knowledge about so many people that I haven't been aware of is so important. And I love it. So if I could go to you, Lachi, when you came on board with this and you got with Day and the rest of the team, what did that mean for you, and why was it so important for you to become a part of this project?
You know, for me, I have always really been, for a long time, I hid my disabilities and I kept them erased and didn't want to ever talk about them. But throughout my music career, I turned that around. I became really forward about my disability, saying it from a place of power. And that brought me joy. And it brought me, you know, like love and community. And I started to realize I don't see enough disability joy out there. I don't see enough humor and music and culture really celebrating disability. And right when I was like, you know, I'm singing, I'm doing music, I'm doing all sorts of things, I was like, I want to bring this to the next level. I want to bring this to film. And I started doing my own YouTube series to just be the thing I wish I had seen. And while doing that, one of my mentors, Judy Human, had said, I know a woman that is trying to put together something I think you'd be perfect for. And that's how I met Day. And Day had said something that really struck me when we were kind of talking about the series. And she was like, I really want to make sure that it's not just a person with a disability in front of the camera as the host. I want to make sure that it is a person of color with a disability so that we can start to showcase that disability is such a wide spectrum as we start getting these big opportunities for representation. So I was just all the way on board. I have done everything Day has ever told me to do ever since then, and I will continue to do whatever she wants.
I love it. I love this energy. Thank you, Lachi. That's an amazing answer and so beautiful. If they're not going to give that road to you, we'll make our own road and we'll get it out there. I love that. Day, thank you. Being one of the shining lights to make this happen. Can you tell me the why for you and getting Lachi on board and all the other amazing folks that you brought to the table?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the biggest thing that gets told about disability in general, both history and present, is they're always the same stories, right? It's either this overcoming or trauma or crises. And you see that actually also about any stories about people of color as well, right? And I'm like, I wanted to show we're a vibrant, dynamic community. We're, the word is badasses. Couldn't use that in the series, couldn't title it that, but you know what? That's what it's at the heart. You look at those folks like, oh man, they're such a badass. And I'm like, and that's what we wanted as a part of that. And we wanted to express that in a variety of ways. So it isn't just the story, but also who gets to tell the story, right? And in documentary and film history, it's always who gets the money, who gets to tell the story. And they usually go into these communities, whether it's disabled community, communities of color, and it's very extractive, right? They'll take the story and then they'll go do it. Whereas this is one where I go, I want us from the community to tell the stories. We had somebody from Georgia on the team telling Thomas Wiggins' story. That way we were in community. We have folks matching some of the disabilities to make sure we're not missing any of the nuance, right? Because this is about truth, right? This is about authenticity. And every so often people will go, oh, it's something, it's special, it's woke, it's niche. And I'm like, no, to get the details of the story and to get it real, you want people you trust to tell it. So we're not doing anything like politically correct. We're telling good stories, right? It's not telling diverse stories. It's telling good stories. And the way to get to the heart of that is being able to connect with the people, connect with the family and the friends and those who knew the people we're profiling. And that's why I think the series is doing so well, because there's an intimacy to it. And there's an honesty. And more than that, also, there's a celebration. This isn't the same old disability. This is the fun. This is the exciting. This is the holy crap, they did that kind of way of doing it. And that lets us know that this is we're like folks with disabilities. We're a part of the American landscape. We're a part of the societal structure. And this is what we look like when you put us in it and you treat us as we're a part of it.
Let's go. I love all of that. Oh man, I love this energy. And yeah, it's that authenticity that you want to have it come across. And that's what all of that DNA that you just said will give it that authenticity and make it just hit home. And well done, Day. Just brilliance. If I could throw this back to you, and then I got the question for Lachi, is with there being so many people that are so amazing in this community, how did you narrow it down to the subjects that we cover in this first batch?
Ooh, it was hard. Oh, it's so hard. One of the things, like I said, along with the authenticity, is we wanted to make sure that we actually met PBS's mandate. I don't know if anybody knows. And they're like, oh, you're telling a story and it's skewed. I'm like, no, to say anything Lachi said had to be like justified and proofed from like 2 or 3 sources to say, this is so true. So it's one of those things where we go, oh, it's so true because we've backed it. So we had historical advisors, we had folks from the community, we had folks with disabilities, and trying to find and round out with that kind of help. And let me tell you, those are amazing advisors. Jaipreet Verdi, Michael Rembus, Susan Schweck, like they're all they're scholars who study disability and history as well as a variety of other things, and they're able to say, hey, I think these folks are good representation. And we wanted a mix of men, women, we wanted a mix of people of color from all over the country and from a variety of disabilities, because we are everywhere. We are so many different things. And sometimes that feels maybe a little scattered, but at the same time, it's going, we're big, and I don't want us to lose out on anything. So it falls into we had lots of help, lots of opinions, lots of fist fights in the back room over who would get in there. And I know we're all desperately hoping, for a season 2, because there's so many other folks we didn't get to say. And I will say, for anybody out there listening, by all means, put in your comments, send us a note saying, this is who I think you should cover, because there's so many we haven't heard of that you might know that absolutely deserve to have their stories told.
Love that. Love that. Definitely want a season 2. I'm just going to say for myself, I'll be doing all of that. Lachi, to close this out, I have so much more questions. I wish I had more time, but to close this out, what do you hope people leave with when they check out Renegades?
Ooh, I want people to know that disability culture is more than grievance and compliance. Disability culture is badassery. Disability culture is the music that Tom Wiggins played. Disability culture is the battle that Celestine Tate Harrington won. Celestine Tate Harrington won, and the way she won it, the way she navigated. Disability culture is how Judy Lynn del Rey literally created science fiction and made it what it is today. Disability culture is Brad Lomax from the Black Panthers being the reason why we have all of the privileges and entitlements as folks with disabilities that we have today. Disability culture is just so much more than just trying to get accommodation at work. Disability culture is the feistiness that you build as you try to navigate your condition, as you try to overcompensate for the ableism that you face. That's what disability culture is. And you only start to see that when we tell the stories. A day behind the camera is a Lachi in front of the camera. That's what people start to get from Renegades.
I love it. Lachi, if you could see me, I am beaming. I'm smiling ear to ear. You are absolutely a joy. I love you. You're amazing. Dave, thank you so much as well. Everybody, Renegades is streaming right now on PBS. Catch it all, as well as the YouTube app. It's all there. And hit up in the comments, like Dave said, let's get a season 2 popping off, because I need more. All right, y'all. I'm Kuya P. This is Nerds Rule the World. All right, there we go.
Oh, thank you so much. Love your energy. Can I have some?
There you go. I'm sending it through the airwaves.
There we go, man. I'm loving the background as well. I'm like, oh, that looks so good. Thank you so much. It's like a small thing, but I'm like, you just made my day.
We'll record on our end as a backup.
Got it.
But also just wanted to, before you get started, if you can please introduce yourself and give a verbal description.
Of course.
Before you start your questions, and just keep an eye on the chat. I'll let you know when your last question is.
No worries. Thank you so much, Market Team. Hello, Day. Hello, Lachi. It's a pleasure to chat with you both. I am a proud Filipino American. I got a black hoodie on, which makes me feel good and comfortable. My hat says "Make History Now" because it is so important to me. And of course, I have the Renegades backdrop behind me because I want to show love to you, Lachi, and as well as you, Day, for this project. So
nice.
Definitely.
Nice.
Love it.
Thank you so much. I'm going to do a 3, 2, 1 count to help me get started because I'm putting the trailer right in front of our interview. All right. So here we go. In a 1, 2, 3.